Okay folks, welcome. So today I'm targeting black bream from the rocks. So I've travelled down to a venue to hopefully see if I can get a black bream out. Now it's really kicking off to the start of the season really. I mean, you get a small amount of numbers, but now's sort of the time where you've got a good chance of seeing a nice fish out. So tide's perfect for me today where I am, and I'm hopefully going to see a black bream out. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but I'm fishing one rod, and I'll go through why later on within the session. But prime time's just about to get here, so I'm going to get set up, and hopefully we can see a few fish out today. So today I'm using the T1000. Reason I'm using the T1000s today is a simple reason that I'm going to have to lift the fish. Because I'm fishing on my own, I've got no choice. So it's a case of basically winding down into the fish and lifting up slowly. I don't recommend it, but if you're gonna do it, if I was fishing for rays and that, I would not even be thinking about it, guys. But the simple fact that I'm fishing for bream, and hopefully you're fishing for like a £3 fish, and be nice to see us get one, wouldn't it? But as I said, it's not guaranteed, and it is really probably the first session of the year for me. So I'm going to give it a go. But whoa, tripod down. I've sort of done my own work a little bit to see if there's a few fish coming out, and the boats are getting them. So there's no reason why I shouldn't see a fish out today, if I'm honest. But hey-oh, we're here to hopefully see if we can get one. But for those of you who missed me for the last week, I've been living it up in Mallorca. So it's been really nice, to be honest. It's a well-needed break, and I planned on doing a bit of fishing when I was over there, but unfortunately it didn't really play ball. But what I'm going to do now, I'm basically going to get into setting the rod up while I'm talking to you, then I'll get a bit closer with you and we'll go through the rigs and stuff. But check these out. So that's what I'm using today, SHVs. They're running very super fast, brand new these are, and they've been discontinued for some reason. I know the pinions weren't fantastic, but you can get upgraded pinions for them. So it's something I'm going to look at doing, but these are running very fast at the minute. That's the reason why the ratchet. So I can set this up properly. Whee, let's get in here. There you go. There you go. Nice. Hope you've all had a good week. I'll get a bit better view in a minute, guys. So here we are. So everything's basically ready there now. Just time to put the rig on. So, rig-wise today, pulley rig. Now, there's a lot of different ways and methods for fishing for bream. Some people float fish for them. Some people are fishing like an aerial rig, which we've used in different venues and stuff. Where I'm fishing now, distance is the key for me, okay? Distance will be the difference between seeing me get a few fish out today or not, especially on this rig. Now, if I'm fishing different depths and different grounds, so if it's really, really rough, I won't necessarily use a small pulley rig, okay? 9 times out of 10, I'll use a long pulley rig, or I'll use an aerial rig, which I call them, which basically is a device which is a spring which pulled down onto a bent link clip onto your end of your shock leader with a swivel, and then basically you bring that down with a tensioning knot, so it just kicks it into place with a spring on, and use a really long rotten bottom rig with an imp on the end, okay, which you're going to have to lose, because what it tends to do, the rotten bottom sinks straight to the bottom, and it allows your trace line to be flapping away above the kelp and the rock where the bream are really, where they're feeding over. It's a very good rig, and if I'm fishing really rough ground, that's what I'll tend to use, either that or the pulley rig. And to be honest, I've got it's distance where I am. I'm getting away. It's a small tide today, and I'll be using very short pulley rigs, okay? I've got 3 lots of pulley rigs there, okay? I've got ones made up at 6 foot, I've got ones made up at 4 foot, and I've got ones made up at 3 foot. So I'll go through them now. Rotten bottom is always the way. Obviously, you're fishing over rough ground, so you always got a chance of losing your lead. Now, if I hit a certain depth of ground where I want to be fishing, I shouldn't lose a lot of tackle. Having said that, what I've found is the big fish will take you to ground, and there's not a lot you can do about it. It's just one of them. But yeah, so what the hell is that? Do you know what? I think I've got the wrong. Oh, please don't say I have. I have, haven't I? I've got boat rigs made up. Oh my God, what have I done? I've picked my gilt-edge Bream box up. Oh guys, it's gonna go bad. It's gonna go bad. How am I gonna do this? What a palaver. I've got no imps. This is not good. This is not good. What can I do here? I've got nothing to clip down with. Oh no. What an idiot. Oh my God. I can't clip the baits down. This is going to be a palaver today. I've got no imps with me. What am I going to do? Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to clip the baits down. I won't get the distance. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? I don't know what we can do. If I'm honest, I really don't know what we can do. The only thing I could do is clip my baits on, but it's going to go. I'm not going to get where I need to be, and I'm not going to use a pulley rig here today. It's going to end up being a boat rig. It's the only thing I can do though. Nightmare, guys. So the session has not gone right straight away. That's my fault for yesterday. I was in a rush yesterday, and out of all the things to leave, I've left the main ingredients, which is a nightmare. But I don't know what to suggest really. I mean, what I'm gonna have to do, this is actually wire as well. This isn't trace line, that's wire. Oh my God. Things have gone bad, haven't they? Right, gonna have to try and come up with an idea here. I'm gonna cut the wire off for a start. Oh, I can't believe it. I'm absolutely gutted. Absolutely gutted. Right, I'm gonna have to make a rig up. So, what's the best plan of attack for this then? I need to make a rotten bottom, which can go onto that. And then a trace line which can go onto that. So if I put, do you know what? I'm going to try something. Okay, I'm going to try something. I've never done this before, but I have got swivels. So that's the only thing I can really do here now. So if I, oh, it's killed me, guys. It really has. I feel gone. Right, stick with me. So what are we going to do? This is called fishing. This is not me at all. I like to be very organised when I'm fishing, and unfortunately today it's not going to be the case. I've got to try and come up with a plan of attack, and I've only got what I've got with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to improvise. I'm you don't know how far I've come, and I can't go now, because if I go now, that's it. So let's see what I can get out here. Right, so I'm going to make a pulley rig, a short pulley rig. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try on my lead, I'm going to try and set my trace line and bend my lead over, I think. See if it works, isn't it? It's the only thing I can do. It's not a lot, I ain't got a lot of other choice here today. Right, so if I pull, so that comes off there, right, yeah, that's right. Well, it's fishing, isn't it? Can he still get a bream on without all the main ingredients? We shall see, we shall see. Right, okay, so, oh, nightmare. I haven't even got my link clips. Oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to argue the case. It is, but I've done it now, and I. Right, so I'm going to put a swivel on there. There's not even another angler around. 9 times out of 10, you get a guy and say, mate, I've had it before. Where I've said, mate, I forgot my scissors, or I forgot something. He said, I forgot my bait I forgot one day, and I was miles away, and there was a guy there, and he said, I've got scissors, I've got bait. Have you got any bait elastic and scissors? I forgot it. And I said, yeah. So we made do with his bait, and we shared the scissors and that, which was ideal. While raying in the middle of nowhere, I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely gutted. Right. So, my only worry is these reels are running really fast, and the trouble is with running as fast as they're running is for the fact that, oh, nightmare. I'll tell you what, I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. It's broke me, it has. Gonna have to put one of them on. I just need an imp. So all I need is an imp. Right. I'll leave that there and make one up a little bit later on. So it's a bit of entertainment for you, isn't it? Oh, nightmare. I see people doing this when they go fishing, and I think to myself, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And I hate fishing like this. I like to be organised. I mean, if you're organised, I'd have come here a minute ago, I'd have had a bait in the water by now. You know what I mean? Now I'm mucking around with doing stuff I shouldn't be. So what I'm going to try and do is create my own bait clip. It's the only way this is going to work, I think. All right. So I like to use this monster catfish line. It's so it's about 75 pound in strength, but it's a 0.50. It's like a 50 pound, but it's quite thin. But I find it brilliantly. It works brilliantly for the bream, especially with doing what I'm about to do. Main thing with this is testing your knots. All right, got to test your knots. So if I bring that down like that, down there like that, I'm going to bring it. I'll bring it about there. Okay. What I'm going to do here now is this. I'm going to pull that over like so, and then I'm going to put a bait stop on there. Okay. And then I'm going to put a sequin over the top of that. Lost all my swivels. This is an absolute nightmare, this is. Right, and then I'm using size 1s today, okay, because they're not thick on the ground at the minute. I'm going for a slightly smaller hook, And people are going to say, Webby, what are you doing with the bait? And I'll go through it why in a minute. So, if I pull that down, this could be a nightmare. I've got to be honest, I'll tell you why. My reels are running really, really fast because I want maximum distance where I am, all right? And because I'm running so fast, if this bait comes off, it's going to hold the reel back. And I don't want that. That's it. So that's the hook on. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a go because we're here. I ain't got much option, have I? So that's the first rig done. Probably going to have to do is I'd like to have a few rigs ready, but I'm going to have to probably get this one in the water or make another rig up. All right, so the next step is leads. So I've got 7-ounce leads here now. Okay, I've got some pliers somewhere. Let's grab the pliers. So I'm going to have to try and make a bait clip for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these down as far as I can turn them, like so. Like that. What I tend to do is just turn the eyes up like that here. I want 7 because of the tide, okay? This might work, this might not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn one of them upside down. I don't like to do that. I don't really have much of a choice. Okay, so these breakaway rotten bottoms are essential for what I'm about to do. Do you know what? I made a load the other year, and I mean loads. And I seen the box, and I thought it was the box, and I never even looked. That's a big lesson, isn't it? Make sure you got everything organised. Make sure if you think you got everything there, because the last thing you want to be doing is doing what I've done today. But we all do it. Lesson which I will definitely learn from. Right, so if I turn that round and loop that, and I can basically put that up through there like that, and there you go. That's my first pulley rig, guys, all right? So I can attach that now onto here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop this quickly just to set my line. Okay, so next time, so bait up time now. Okay, so I've got some foam here, and I'm going to make a pop-up. Okay, put that back in so I don't lose it. I don't want them big. What I tend to do first of all is get the squid out. So we've got some squid there from Hooker's Baits, little party squid, absolutely perfect for this sort of thing. Okay. Right, it's a squid. I'm going to leave that in the sun. bag in. I need to make sure I keep that, don't blow off. Bluey, okay. So what I'm going to do is I need to look at the bait I'm about to put it in, which I've got, and then what I'm going to do is cut my foam accordingly, okay. So that's a bit big. That isn't a bit big, that's ideal. Right, so that go in like so, right? So now I can literally cut the side of this squid open, like so, and stick that foam straight in there like that, all right? And then what I'm going to do now is basically bind it together. So I've got some heavy bait elastic, like that, and then basically going to whip it on. I've got the head there, right? It's important I keep the head for a minute. Because I'm putting foam in it, this could be my downfall when I'm casting. All right. So what I tend to do is keep the head like so. All right. Bluey is the main ingredients for me now, and the reason is that's quite big. Okay. And you can think, mate, that's massive for a bream, right? You get all the little ones pecking around a bit, and suddenly you get a big one coming, bang, smash. That's what we want. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut a bit of bluey, okay? So I like to use the beginning part of the bluey, the blood. That's what I like, right? So what I'm going to do is on this rig I've just made up, make sure I've got the right rig, which is here. I'm going to put this squid on. I'm going to go down through the top, pull him out, down again, pull him out, down again, put him out, all right, all the way down through. I'm trying to get till I get to his eyes, like so. All right, so I can pull that tight now. That's all tight completely. I'm left with the hook end. See that hook end there, like that now? What I tend to do here now is get a bit of bluey, all right, and I put it towards this hook. And I'm doing this for a reason, because the reason I'm doing that, what I find myself is it draws the fish around that part of the squid because of the scent and the bloodiness of it, all right? And that's where the hook point is. So they get loads of them tapping away at it, and that's the end they'll go around. And then as soon as you get that big boy come along, boosh. People are going to say that's way too big a bait for bream. I totally agree, all right? I'm not targeting just a normal fish here, guys. I'm targeting a monster. I'm after a 4 or 5 pound bream. That's what I'm down here for, okay? So you've always got the chance of it, as long as your rig's in the water. So there you go, like that down there now. So that's the tentacles around. And what I'll do is flap that away around there like that. Just make sure the hook's proud. Main focus here now is the hook. Hook has got to be proud. And that's that. That's done. What I do myself, see that bait there like that now? Right? I just trim away at this now slightly. Just to make it like that. So, next best thing now is to try and get this to work. I'm going to get my baiting towel. Wash my hands off. And what I'm going to do before I put this bait in the water and try it, I'm going to make another rig. The reason I'm using one rod, see if this works. It's working. It's working at the minute anyway. The lead's a bit all wonky, but hopefully we can live with that. All right, so that's the first rig made up. I'm going to do another one straight away, so everything's ready to go. Because as I said, I'm fishing one rod here now, and the reason I fish one rod is when these fish take off, they take off. They go mental. So with that in mind, I'm trying to get all my swivels back here. There you go. With that in mind, I want to make sure I'm onto the rod. Very important for me to be on the rod. All right, so to start again. So what I want here is I want a bead, I want a swivel. So if I cut that off there like that now. So I'll put that down. Put that somewhere safe, isn't it? 2, 3, 5. Well, it looks like it's going to work. Will it work? That is the question. What a dipper. That's the only way I can describe myself at the minute. What a complete dipper. Right, so up there. Right, so that's onto that. Getting somewhere. We're nearly cooking. I've just done all my gilt-edge bream rigs though. Now I've killed him more, haven't I? Do you know what? I'm going to go home tonight, find the other box and be like, what have you done? Nightmare. I actually think I had him in a box like this, and I actually think I put them into Century wallets. I'm pretty sure I did. Right, so that's there like that. Now, if I get one of these out, like so, put a new bottom attachment on that. So that's there like that, that's good. It's just a trace line then, isn't it? So I can put a bit of trace line on there now. We're nearly off again, guys, we're nearly off again. But yeah, I had a really nice time in Mallorca, I've got to say. It was, I tried to get out, but the fishing weren't really where you wanted to be for the fishing, if you know what I mean. There was places I could have gone, but to be honest, I couldn't get out the pool. I had a swim up room pool, and it was just amazing. It's the only way to describe it, amazing. I mean, I can see why people have swimming pools in their back gardens, because I would be probably in it every day. I haven't gone swimming like that for years, and it was a nice break, to be honest. Back at it now though, back at it now. I've got a few things up and coming this month for you all to enjoy, which is nice. Right, so that's that there. Now I just need a hook. So what do I do with the hooks? Hooks are in there. I'm going to bait all this up. I'm going to get a rod in the water. All right. Nice. So that one there is all set up, ready to rock and roll now. I'm actually just going to do the rotten bottom bit because I can show you that one here. All right, so I've got old 20-pound main line there now. So what I do with this, I get the end of the rotten bottom, and I basically tie a knot. For anyone just starting out fishing, if you're fishing any kind of rough ground, you should be using these, okay? It's called a Gemini breaker. They're class, they really are. And then you basically go around like so. Breakaway do a version of it as well. That goes in around like that. Little knot, right, just strong enough to take the lead. Trim your line off. Give yourself about 12 inches. Save you having to do this all the time. Then what I tend to do is down the bottom here now, right, I'll create a knot. So I'll do 1 knot, go up a little bit further, 2 knots, right, and then what I tend to do is try and get one in the middle. 3 knots. So I've got 3 knots in that, all right. So what I can do then is get my lead, put them over like so. And then turn the ends up. And one end down in this case. I can't believe I'm doing that. There you go. Right, and then that basically goes on to here. So when your lead hits the water, this will attach, and it allows the lead with the line and the pressure to break. So you lose your lead, but you get your gear back. Very important for rough ground fishing. The last thing you want to see is, like, especially smoothhound fishing and that, is to see the fish getting snagged up and left out there, or not able to break free. So at the end of the day, it's a little bit of tackle lost, what I think we can all live with. But the main thing of it all is you're going to get everything back. So just hoping that works. That's going to be might be the downfall, is the drop bottom when it hits the trace. But unfortunately, guys, I've just got to try it. So I'm going to get this one out now, and we'll see if we can get a fish out. As I said, this could literally go anywhere, because the reel was running very, very fast, and I don't normally like to do this, guys. I've got to be honest. I like to make sure everything's strong. Quite lucky that where I am is very remote and there's not a lot of people around, okay? But I would never be dreaming about trying this if there was people around. I mean, if anything happens now, my lead is going to probably hit the rocks, which I can live with. But the last thing I'd ever want to be doing is doing this when there's people around. I would never be doing this on a beach, if I'm honest with you. All right, so just got to try and play it by ear and see how it goes. But here we go. I'm actually nervous. I just want to make sure it unclips. It's not like proper streamline with the lead. I'm just hoping that lead pulls back with the trace when the power goes into it. There we go. Well, it's nowhere near the distance I wanted. And when I say nowhere near the distance, I mean nowhere near the distance I wanted. That is in complete rough now, but we're fishing. So everything's set up, just a waiting game now. So I'm fishing. As I said, I'm not doing what I want to be doing, but I have got a bait in the water. I reckon that went out about 100 yards maybe. Absolute nightmare, I've got to be honest. Where I'm hitting, I want to be hitting 160 yards to get to the clean. And the tide's perfect for it today. Absolutely perfect. But I'm going to give it 10 minutes. If I land a bite on it in 10 minutes, I'm going to bring it back in and I'm going to try and get one out there, because that's, to me, that's the key to success. Bait was perfect, but not to say it's not, because a lot the rougher ground close in does hold the bigger bream. But I just find if you hit that cleaner ground, once you get the little ones feeding, bream are quite funny like that, because you get the little ones feeding and it brings the bigger fish in, and the more fish what's there, the more chance you've got the bigger ones are coming along in. And if the little ones are pecking at it, the bigger fish have got bigger mouths, and they tend to just, instead of pecking around like that, like a little bream, they'll tend to come in and just go bang, and that's what you want. And you'll soon know, because it goes off, they go off like smooth hounds, they really do. They're very fast fighting fish. I mean, you need to make sure you've got your drag set for a start. But I've got the rod buckled in at the minute, so just hoping we can get a fish out. But as I said, it can be quite manic, that initial bite. So it won't, if I get a fish on, I'm not going to be able to play around with the cameras, guys. I'm just going to, and I'm going to try and show you the fight if I can. Might have to put my GoPro on, but it's quite hard to. I need to make sure I get that fish away from the bottom straight away, because it'll dive straight into the rough. At the minute, where it is at the minute, if it goes off, it's already in the rough. So where I'm casting, I'm probably casting 170 yards, 180 yards normally, and you're onto the clean. But it's a big cast. It can be quite a long day as well. So it's been out for about 10 minutes now, okay? And I personally want to know my bait set right and the rig's working, because I'm completely wasting my time else. And I'm a bit frustrated myself at the minute, I really am, but there's not a lot I can do about it. But I've not had no bites or nothing, but it's if I knew what I was doing, really in theory I shouldn't have rushed. I should have bought more gear and stuff, you know what I mean, just in case. So I had the gear here to fish closer in if I needed to, but unfortunately, yeah, one of them. It's coming. If I lost my lead then. I think I did. Yeah, I did. Lead gone. Bit of a get that, because I wanted to see if I could, if my rig was working. It looks like it is. It does look like it is. But as you can see now, the lead's gone. So that means it's working. So I'm going to get another lead tied onto this. I'm going to use this, carry on using this rig a minute, and then hopefully we can get a bait out to where we want to get a bait out, which would be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, so let's give it a go then. I'll get a lead. Oh. Forecast was sunny today, Unfortunately, it's not been sunny. It's quite overcast. "7-ounce SKM leads, which I get from Southwest Sea, not Southwest Sea Baits, Seacast leads, Mike at Seacast leads, and yeah, they're ideal really. What did they do in the days without bait clips, isn't it? Crazy. Let's turn that one back over. Crazy. But ayo, we're starting to get another one out. The weather is nothing compared to what it said it was going to be. I don't know how they get it so wrong, you know. They tend to get it wrong, don't they? All right, let's get that one off. I'm going to do them slightly shorter. Okay. I do. Got that cut off. Nice. That's the lead route. Will do. One lead done. Just a squid now. Now the top of the squid, there's nothing wrong with it. So what I'm going to do, I'll try and get this so it stays properly. You want it away from that clip bait. That's it, like that. That's it, I do. Right, that's away from that. So let's have a look at this. So really, the pop-up is fine, which is good. Okay, so I'm happy with that. But the bluey on it is not. So I'll get my scissors. And cut a bit of fish off. Like that. Alright. Right, it's question time. See if we can get one out. Not where I wanted it, a little bit better. Not exactly where I wanted it, but I think we can live with that. So guys, it's just a waiting game. Just a waiting game. I'm not going to say I'm confident. No, I'm not. I was so excited. I was so excited. And it's all gone to pots. It's all gone to pots. But hey, beats being at work for a day, eh? I try not to scratch my rod either. Just dab though. Well, what can I say? It's out there. It's not where I want it to be, but it's one of them, isn't it? I can't. There's not a lot else I can do. So I'm miles away from any tackle shops, and as I said to my mate on the phone, he's like, "No way." I said, "Yeah, I know. My own fault. My own fault. Rushing around last night." So I bought a Shimano Trinidad, and I bought it off some guy on Facebook, and travelled to pick it all the way up, travelled miles down to Cornwall to pick it up. I got back and the reel had seized. It was an absolute nightmare. So I managed to go through it with my mate Adam, and literally go through, like, take the reel apart. And I'm not very good with reels and stuff like that, but he knows what he's doing. He took it apart and that, and there was one part which was seized onto the reel spool, and we're like, "How are we going to get that off?" I tried everything. I mean, everything. Grease, it just wouldn't come off. The reel must have been sat there. Matey said that he'd been using it 2 weeks before. There's no way. It's it just been seized, just been left there for time with seawater. So I had to order a part for 74 quid from America, and the part come through last night, and we literally sat down, and the part was slightly too big. It was trying to think of the other reel called. There was the other reel, but the part was supposed to fit the Trinidad, but it never. Anyway, we managed, every time it kept clicking, anyway, we managed to get it precisely, grind it down to the exact size we needed it to, and the reel's running lovely now. But yeah, I got back from there, managed to get all my stuff, like gear ready, and I thought the box was already done. I should have looked. I was going to make a couple of rigs up just in case, but hey-o, it is what it is, and there's not a lot I can do about it now. But yeah, hopefully it pays off, eh? I mean, after, especially on your day off. Oh, Breamy. Breamy. So I don't know if you can see that in a minute, guys. Don't know if you can see that. Get a proper lovely bream bite. So what you'll get is a slight pull down, then exactly the same again, and then when it comes along, you got the one you want. That tip will slam down, and that reel will go screaming off. I'm going to leave it running in a minute, because this is the only way I'm going to get this on film. When it goes, it's time to strike. I'll leave you with the rod tip. Definitely still there. Getting really small twitches. So that's little fish in a minute, pecking around at the squid. What you need is a few more fish to get around that now, and that bigger fish to come past, and nail it. I love bream fishing. Ray fishing is my #1 sort of love for the sport, if I'm honest, but bream fishing is right up next to it. I mean, you can only fish one rod half the time because how fast and how hard they hit. But at the same time with that, when the fish are there, you do not need more than one rod. It can really be. Oh, we got a puller. We got a puller. Go on. That one was pulling line. Just want it to trip that lead now. Slam that rod tip down. Just tighten the drag slightly then, because he was about to pull. Nothing coming of that at the minute, guys, is there? I'm going to bring it in. Going to bring it in. Because it can be sometimes really small fish. It's definitely bream. Might be on. Got a lazy one maybe. Or a wrasse. It was really breamy bite though. Might have one. Don't know. Yeah, I've seen something then. Got something. Please don't make a strap eel. I think it is a strap eel. Oh, please no. I think it's a bream. It's a bream. We got one. That is what we wanted. Okay, that is what we wanted. Got to be very careful with this fish. Let me undo my rig a minute. So guys, look at this. You've got to be really careful with them because they can be quite spiky. This is what you call a black bream. Look at the colours in that. Absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, first one of the day. And yeah, it's certainly done it, didn't it? That made it worth the journey, didn't it? Whee! Get one out. Right, so zero that. Zeroed. Okay. And then have to get this fish in the bag. Oh, it's not quite a £2-pounder. £2.13. £1.13. £2.13. I wish. Okay guys, look at that. The black bream. Exactly what we wanted, and hopefully they get bigger and better. It's £1.13 that one, but I'm sure there'll be a £2-pounder out there lurking around with my name on it today. Mwah. Well, what a start. Second cast, we're in there. So bluey again. I've got the squid there like that, guys, okay? But the pop-up's still intact, so I'm not really that bothered about it, if I'm honest. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically bring that around there like so. Right, I'm going to cut it back though. I want them on the hook end. The pop-up is the business end, isn't it, at the end of the day? I mean, I've got a whole box of squid, but hopefully that's what I want to do there, like that, right? Then if I cut that back in there like that now, I can put a bit on this side here, and bait elastic again. He was a quiet one. Normally they scream. He was a quiet one. But let's hopefully we can see a big one out now. Not a bad fish, really. There you go. So, only one thing left to do is get him out there. Woo! Okay. That time again, isn't it? Let's try and get one out then, eh? Let's try and get one out. So, right. Whee. That's why it was loose. I took my rig off, didn't I? Alright, let's get this back through the eyes a minute. Coming up to prime time for me. I like it around now. If anybody wanted to target black bream, go onto the internet. You'll find areas and gain knowledge over the internet where hold black bream and stuff. A lot of venues throughout the whole of the UK hold black bream. And it really is a case of getting out there and trying it, guys. Exactly the same as all of us have done over the time. I mean, that's a good thing of fishing. It makes it more rewarding when you put the effort in to go and find out where they are and how they are and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And yeah, here we go. So, that bait's there like that now. He's down like so. So that's ready to cast out. So I'm going to blast him to the horizon now, fingers crossed. And hopefully we can get one out. Okay, let's try it then. Right, the same as last time distance wise. I'm not getting the distance I need, but at the same time the fish, it don't make no difference, the fish are there. As I said, you don't have to be hitting where I was trying to hit. The fish will be right underneath your feet, but I just find sometimes for I just seen a big fish then. Quantities and numbers, I've always find that distance pays off. Bait was untouched as soon as I hit that. I lost loads of distance then. Right, we'll get him hung up and then we'll get back to a little conversation. So that's what we're waiting for. What you normally get is really, really rattly bites and then it'll just go and start taking line. Tide's taken that then. T900s are lovely for it. Glass tips, the Zocorn XGT14s would be fantastic for this. But for the simple thing of I'm having to lift fish on the rod. And as I said there, I wind down the shock leader, make sure the shock leader is long enough to hit the water. I've experienced, I know the measurements for that, and then it's a case of, you get the hang of it. When we first started, we lose a few fish. But the trouble is with the tide and stuff, we'll try drop nets and stuff like that, and it doesn't work in this specific area very well. So it depends where you are really, but it's one of them. If 9 times out of 10, if you're onto the fish quick, that's the whole point of fishing one rod, you'll get it hooked right in the back of its mouth, and they normally come up. I mean, I've landed £3. My biggest is £3.6 around this area. So and there's guys who've had a lot bigger than that. So you can get rewards, and they are so fast and hard fighting. You can hear that now. That's a tide. So the tide is getting quite strong there at the minute. That's holding a bit better now. So it's just a waiting game. But first fish out. It's this is one of the only fish you'll see me keep, guys, really, because I love black bream. I mean, that there is perfect plate size, and I'm not afraid to say it. I've spent all the money in fuel and everything else, and I'll be having this one here for tea. Okay, I'll gut it before I leave, but it's proper plate size. I wouldn't keep a 3-pounder if I'm honest, but it's proper plate size, and me and my missus will have that for tea tonight. Absolutely gorgeous. You can't go wrong. To be honest, I might have it for tea tomorrow night with a bit of Tyson Fury. So I don't know what everybody's thoughts are. I'm feeling Tyson. I'm a Tyson fan. I'm not going to say I'm not. I think he's a fantastic boxer, and for the size of him, he's just unique, really. A lot of people don't like his cockiness and stuff like that, but I think that's part and parcel, and I think he brings a lot of entertainment through the boxing. I mean, what he's done for boxing and stuff like that. I mean, it's really good. But Usyk at the same time, he is a very, very good fighter, and he deserves to be where it's not going to be an easy fight, I don't think. I think Usyk's a very technical fighter, and as you found out with Joshua, for those of you who are interested in boxing, I do apologise, but yes, it gets people talking a bit of backwards and forwards online. It's always nice to see the comments and have something for people to get interact with. But for me, I think Fury will be too big for him. If Fury plays it right, I think he's got it in the bag. But if it goes to 12 round, it could go Usyk's way. I mean, as I said, Fury's got to fight him, because that's what Usyk would do. He'll box him. So you need to box with a box, don't you, at the end of the day? You can't go in there like Joshua did last time and try and knock him out and brawl him, because at the end of the day, he's very wise for that. But that tide is starting to pull now. I don't mind a little click, just a little bit of movement. Don't hurt. It moves the bait. And if the bait's moving, you've got a chance of that fish to going along and just go and smash. But yeah, all good in the hood. So, I'll send the picture to my mate in a minute. Put the phone on silent. So, completely flat sea today. Just need fish to play ball. Overcast, which is always nice. Fingers crossed we can get some more. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one in now. It's been out there a little while. See if we can get him back from the dark depths of the rough. So I try reel like mad to get my lead back. I think he's come off. I don't know actually. I think he has. Yeah, he's come off. He's on top of the water there now. When he's on top of the water like that, I tend to reel slow because I've had pollock and bass hit it. Coming across the surface there at the minute. Alright, we get the other rig on. I've already baited it up. There you go. So, weight done exactly the same again. And then I'm on the bag. That can be baited up ready. Oh. Right, let's try and get some distance, eh? Try and get some distance. So, trace lines out like that. I'm going to put that right on bottom. Out the way. Bring it up properly like that. I've got a link there somewhere, which I can put that down there too, like that. And hopefully, if I can find the hook, there you go. What I'll do, bring him over. Alright, it's all I can do, guys, really. But as I said, it's not fantastic, but we had a fish out so far doing it. So who's to say we won't get another one? So just going to move that tripod a minute. And then try and get one out. The lead's not sat fantastically with me doing it this way, which that's what I'm not keen about. But it is what it is. We're here to make do with what we got, and we can use slightly shorter drop here in a minute. Right, here we go. Let's try and get one in then, eh? Just touch bottom now. Okay. Not getting nowhere near the distance I need to with it, but I'm fed up of saying it now, and I'm sure you are. So, everything's set. A little bit of tide there at the minute. Bream. Bream. It was a lovely bite. It was like rattly like that, and bang, it went to take down and then just bounced back up. 100% bream. I'll leave it on, see if we can get one, eh? He's not come back. I'm tempted to reel in, you know, because I'm not sure if the bait nut's still on it. No, I think I'm going to reel him. He's only just gone out there, but the trouble is, if you're sat there with a, he could come back. I'll give it 5 minutes, I reckon. It looked breamy, but it could have been a wrasse. But it was the way it was like thinking around and then went straight over. Yeah. Could be on. That's took me into the rough, that has. Unless he was already in the rough. It's not good. Yeah, I got fish on. I've got fish on, guys. Oh, lead's on. I felt it pull then. Is he still there? He's darting. If he is, I think he's still there. Yeah, he is still there. Unless that's on my rig. No, I've got a fish on. Yeah. So as you can see there, I wasn't sure, but that fish literally took me straight into the rough and give it line, making it think that it's free. It's gone to pull off again and managed to get rid of my rotten bottom, and it's done the business. But hopefully this is the second bream of the trip. He's not a big one, he's only a little one. You can tell the little ones, they don't stay deep. And there he is. So that is the second fish of the trip. Get him unhooked. He's not as big as the other one. I'm going to put this one back. But as you can see, we get hold of him properly. Bream number 2, little baby, but yeah, what a fantastic sight, eh? Okay guys, bream number 2, only a baby, but yeah, we'll get this one here back to fight another day now. I've just got to drop her. Gone darting straight back off to fight another day. It's all you can do, guys, really, sometimes. I mean, I've got one for the table. I'm not going to overdo it, but a lot of people take everything they catch. Personally, don't need to. I mean, I'm not going to freeze it. I'll keep it and eat it, and hopefully have the fresh one either tonight or tomorrow night. And then if it was a couple of us here and someone hasn't caught, I mean, when me and the lads used to come many years ago, we if one of us never caught, we'd make sure we obviously keep one for the other, but everybody would go home with one. But hopefully we can see a big one out today. So I lost my lead on that one, So I'm simply going to put another lead straight back on. Put one eye down. I'm going to turn him a bit more, this one. There you go. And the other ones then I can just literally turn up. Turn up. Smaller fish I'll just add, that second one. But at the same time, it's a pleasant sight. And yeah, as you can see, it gave a lot better fight than the first one, really, because took me straight into ground. I mean, what I find is a lot of the bigger fish I've had, you'll go in, they'll take you straight into ground, and you've got to give them line and play with them a little bit, persevere, and you will get them back out. But it's that one there then. So I'm going to literally put that one straight back in. And we got the Squidamondo, which is all in fantastic condition still. The only thing I'm going to really do here is give it a bit more bluey. I'll change that next time again now. Just get a bit of nice bluey on there to get them going. I don't know what it is. I tried it one day and it worked, and I've just used it ever since. There you go. Right, so what I'm going to do here, cut that a bit closer. Where you go. So let's try and get another one out there, eh? That's it. Got one out. We got one out. Okay then. So it's another waiting game. Another waiting game. Will we get another one out? It's hard to film it, I'm not going to lie, because they'll hit in straight away, and I've got to be up on my feet, and I've got to try and get it up over the rough. So the only thing I can do really, guys, is show you the initial takeoff. I've had them screaming, and I mean completely like gone. Nice. Lovely day for it. Why not? Be nice to find that big one today. 3-pounder would be lovely. But no, we've got a few trips lined up. and over the weekend as well. Getting together with a local lad. He, to be honest, I seen that he popped up on a YouTube video, which was filmed around the corner from me. I give it a bit of a watch, and I didn't realise he was a friend of mine on Facebook. And he was saying about, he put a comment about wanting to get out and get amongst the rays. So I sort of invited him on a trip. I haven't done it for a little while, if I'm honest. I used to do it all the time with different people and stuff, and as I said, I won't go into it. I've already gone through it in another video, but I was let down a little bit, so it sort of like put me off wanting to do it anymore. But I think it's a good big part of fishing. At the end of the day, not everybody's the same. I think that's the way to look at it. Is there? Some people are trustworthy, some people aren't, and I think you find, especially with some of the like very good established anglers, they were always shown and like put on different places and that. And I think it's about when you're getting shown stuff and that, especially venues, it's about keeping it to yourself a little bit at the end of the day as well, because at the end of the day it's areas which everybody's got their own marks, and a lot of people have got their own secret marks. And I think it's no matter what people say and people think, everybody's got the right to fish anywhere, haven't they? But at the end of the day, you've got to know, it's all to do with knowledge. And you only get that by experience, and to be honest, I had it the hard way, really. I had to do a lot of groundwork myself and looking on Google Earth and going up and down mountains and cliffs, and just absolute nightmare looking back over it. But at the end of the day, you're always given it. I've been helped out over the years by a lot of different people, you know what I mean? I'm put onto like different areas or like picks up hints and tips, and I think it's part of fishing. I mean, I remember going eeling when I first started going eeling, going back in, I don't know, years and years ago really, and because all I ever done was like ray fishing. As soon as I got out of like going and doing like pleasure fishing and stuff, and as soon as I caught rays, that was my addiction. And I sort of, was that a bite? I'm sure that was a bite, unless that was a bird. And I sort of I just had the fascination of big fish, and I started going conger fishing, and we were getting loads of bites and that, but using 8-0 hooks and massive like baits, going for the big ones. And a mate of mine said at the time, Wayne Jarman, he said, Andy, have you ever tried scaling down with your hook size? So I thought, what do you mean? We always use 8-0s for congering. A lot of guys use 8-0s. He said, chuck a 6 or a 4 on, try a 4, see how you get on. Do you know what? Every bite we had, we hooked into the fish. And I've had fish up to 33 pound off the Torbay area over the years, and loads, numerous 20s and stuff. And I only use small hooks and a smaller bait, because at the end of the day, when you're using a massive bait, the fish are gonna mouth it and stuff. You know what I mean? Where you got a smaller bait, especially eels, they'll hammer it. At the end of the day, they're hungry, they're scavengers, they'll eat anything. And as long as it's a nice size, my bait up was like a typical ray bait up. And it got to the end of the night, and one thing I always find with eel fishing, especially at some venues, if you go and you're not catching nothing, that is the best time for the big ones, because it means there's big ones in the area, because the big ones will eat anything. They'll eat their own, won't they? But if I go to a certain venue, if it's fishing and you're getting loads of strap eels in that, half the time I'll just pack up and go home. But if you get a night where you'd had nothing, that's the night I tend to stay. And it's happened for me many, many times. I remember one night with my mates, and we never had a bite all night. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to put a bomb lead out, and just did it to the horizon. I literally hit a 40-pound line out and just give it all I had. Bite. And I'm going to set you up over here a minute, guys. See if I can get the tip in on it. I was getting a bite there then. Yeah, I got to the end of the trip, got the end of the session, and then literally wound this cast up, and all of a sudden the rod tip went over, ratchet started taking, lifted up, felt the fish in hand, walked to the higher platform, hit into it as soon as it went to pull, and I had a monster on. I reckon this fish was estimated, it was bigger than my PB, I would say around 40 pound plus. And the guy I was with hated snakes, and he went down over the rocks and said, I'm not touching that. I said, you what? And I kicked him down over the rocks. He was a mate of mine. I said, get down there and gaff it. He said, no, I'm not touching that, I'm not touching that. So by the time he took over the rod and I went to go down, he the fish, where he didn't hold the rod up enough, dropped down into the water and managed to get the shock leader caught on the line. Sorry, so where I had the wire to, above that on the shock leader, and cut off, and the fish was just sinking. And I thought, what do I do? And I thought, I'm not gaffing it in the side, and I just let it go. I let it go. And there's nothing worse than thingy fish, losing fish. But as I said, not necessarily all the time you need to hit into massive bait ups and massive hooks to get into like big eels and stuff. Like smaller baits than that will do the business as well. Couple of lovely little bream bites then I had. Couple of lovely little bream bites, but don't seem to have come of anything. Don't seem to be happening at the minute. But line's quite loose so that it can run. Will it be? Will it be? Could have a fish here. I think we have. Woohoo! Could be better fish. It's diving then. It's diving now. We got one. Looks a better fish as well. It's heavy. Yeah. Please, 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 please. That's what we come here for today, guys. Hello, mate. That is what we've come here today for, guys. That's a PB for me. Yeah, nice fish. Huh? Yeah, nice fish, mate. Ooh, ooh. Jesus Christ. That is a monster. An absolute monster. I'm going to weigh him now. Zeroed. We got it. We got it. £3.8.5. See that? £3.8.5. Take off the bag, which is an ounce and a half, which would be £3.7. That's a PB for me. What a fish. What an absolute fish. Look at that, guys. That is absolute beast. Absolute beast of a black bream. I'm going to get a couple of photos now and try and get it back to fight another day. I'm absolutely over the moon, but it goes to show every time I got a fish, I get my lead back. But I've got another one out there. I'm over the moon with that fish. It's, yeah, game on, game on. Well, what can I say? That's it's sort of like just hit me now. As I wound down into that fish, it stayed deep all the way through, and as it got to the bottom, I couldn't really see it. I seen it come up from the surface and start diving. I knew it was a good chance of being a good one. As soon as I went to lift it, I knew straight away, and you could just feel it in the rod. And I slowly bring it up, so got the leader around, got it through the top eye, and it went to stick because of the weight, and then managed to slowly bring it down, got it down through onto the spool. And literally, as soon as I seen it come up, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, I thought it was a 4-pounder. I did, honestly. The belly on it was massive. And I got it, as you can see on video, I can't believe I nearly dropped it. But yeah, unfortunately, I managed to stop it from going back in the sea. And yeah, for me, beat my personal best by an ounce, which is ideal. And yeah, over the moon, over the moon. But just got to try and see if I can get another one out now. I mean, there's all good chance of it. I mean, as I said before, I find when you're fishing closer in, there's a lot of kelp and stuff like that, and the fish have got to find your baits and rougher grounds, where in the cleaner ground, they can, it's more activity, I would say the best. I mean, it's more productive. You get more bites and tend to get more fish. But as you said, we've had 3 fish today so far. Personal best. I'm absolutely buzzing. I really am. I mean, it's a long old, as I tried to explain to my mate earlier on, and I've had a conversation many a times. I don't go to places and just go fishing. I mean, I do like to go to Wales here and there, and I do it for the filming sort of side, just to get a few fish on camera and stuff like that. But for me, South Devon, if I want to go for a ray, I'm going South Devon. I mean, it's a place of dreams. I mean, you've got a chance of catching a 30-pound blonde ray, and you've not got that in Channel, I don't believe. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, because of the amount of fish what's there, it's very hard to come by. And I mean, it took the Englishman Rob York to go over and do it and show the boys how it's done many years ago. Which seeing the 24 come off of the sand spit was absolutely unreal. And to be one of the Sea Angle Adventures team at the time, it was just superb. I mean, a lot of the guys obviously fishing over there, I don't think they've ever seen a 20-pound blonde before. And when it was pulled out of the water, you've seen these faces drop going, oh my God, look at the size of that. And it was an absolute monster. And yeah, it just goes to show, doesn't it? But that's how I fish, guys. I mean, there's a lot of blank sessions will go into it, which I'll show. But at the end of the day, like today's paid off. But you know what I mean, when we go gilting, you've got chances like 7 to 10 pound gilt. So it's don't not necessarily going to get them every time. When we go, most of the time when we go smooth hand fishing, we're after that 20-pounder. It's always size, which isn't for everyone, as I said many times before, because it does put a bit of, I don't know, boringness into the fishing. I mean, I used to love going fishing, just to going out and just going anywhere. I would go anywhere. I remember going down to, I'm trying to think what the beach was called now, next to Teignmouth there. We used to go down catching like 3 or 4 pound smooth round, loving it. And Branscombe and places like that, I mean, you're always catching fish, and it was the joy of catching fish. But as you say, this specimen hunter game isn't for everyone, but when it happens, the rewards are there. And for me personally, that's what it's about. As I said, it's not for everyone, but something what I've always wanted to do to show the excitement, because for me personally, I love this type of fishing. black bream fishing is nothing like it. I mean, they're very hard fighting, and especially over the rough ground, they're trying to dive down that. You're just trying to maintain it and stuff like that. And even on lighter gear with a smaller fish, it's absolutely fantastic way of fishing. And as you can see today, I'm a bit overkill, but I'm glad I'm overkill because I don't fancy bringing that one up on a glass tip. But rod's in the water again, and I'm sure, hopefully, we'll see another fish out. And yeah, as long as the bait's in the water, we've always got a chance. But no, fantastic day, and yeah, over the moon with this one. Okay then, let's get another one out there then, innit? I just missed the bite then. It folded itself over into the squid, the hook, and yeah, gutted really. Both slack liners, those bigger ones. So, I mean, the foam I'm using is, you can use it over and over again, which is a good thing about it. Now with these squids, I like the ones with the heads on. The trouble is, when you pull them out, sometimes you can lose it. Try not to lose it. There you go. I've got it on there. All right. So all I'm going to simply do is I'll take the bit inside out there, and then I'll just stuff the little squid with foam. So foam's going inside like that. Do this for pollock, do this for a lot of different species really, and it's highly effective when you want to pop a bait up. So anybody wanted to have a go at breaming and stuff like that, you go up Chesil and you fish these rigs, you'll get them. You get them. Right, let's get this on the go then. So if I pull that down there like that, I'm on a 4-pounder. I thought that was it. I'm a bit gutted really. When I seen the belly, I was like, oh my god, I've done it, I've done it. And then it wasn't, but yeah, you can't help it. One of them, innit? Right, so that's that squid there like that now. So I can go in there like that. And what I'll do is I'll get some bait elastic around that now. Get it all put up. Ready for the pop up. Okay. That's nice and gooey as well then. So they are quite big baits, but you're trying to imitate squid, aren't you, at the end of the day? That's the whole point of it anyway. So I have got somewhere, I don't know where it was, up here, my squid head. So what I tend to do is go right down through the eyes, and then I'll whip him on like so, and then all I'll do is, and I'll bring that back down itself now. So if I pull that down like that, that's lovely, and I can just leave that dangling and put that bait elastic around that bit. Nice. So that'll be dangling around like so with the hook on it, and hopefully we can make that happen. Let's get another cast out then, shall we? You have to bear with me. That's the one. That's the one. Still holding back a little. Nice. Let's get this one hung up now. and it looks like we're in with a chance of catching a few fish, fingers crossed. So it's a lovely day looking across the coastlines, and yeah, hopefully we can see another fish out. PB, which is always nice to see. I mean, it don't happen very often there anymore, but it was definitely worth it today. To be honest, I would have been chasing the smooth hounds, and the crab, I couldn't get a lot of crab until tomorrow. So I was looking at stuff and I was thinking, do you know what? I'm going to go for a black bream. So I thought I'd travel down and just see if they were there or not. I done a little bit of background knowledge online into certain things which I look for, and I thought, yeah, I've got a really good chance of getting one out today. So I've come down and I've managed to basically smash it, which is always nice. And yeah, it's one of them. But as I said, guys, a lot of people watch the channel and stuff like that. I've tried to show some of the blank sessions and stuff like that, because there is a lot of blank sessions, and me and my mate was having a bit of a Mickey take earlier on, because we do different types of fishing. He prefers to go out and catch like the odd 100% fish and stuff like that, but he likes to go out and just generally catch fish, where I would rather blank and be in the chance of catching monsters, you know what I mean? And this is where I am at the moment. It's a long way down, but at the end of the day, it's very deep water, and I know I've got a potential chance of catching a massive, massive black bream. And it goes to exactly the same with smoothhound, blondes, or whatever. You don't see me up the channel very much anymore. The only time you see me up the channel is two things: cod, smoothhound. That's the only thing you'll see me up there for. And the reason being, unless I'm doing a video with stuff like that, but the reason being for it is that I'm after that specific type of fish, that high percentage, big, massive specimen. And unfortunately, it's venues what make it, guys. And a lot of the venues now aren't secret. A lot of guys know them and stuff. But what I find with our fishing is when we go somewhere and we catch, it brings everybody out to play. So as you can see, and it's a prime example, if you look on social media now, you won't see a black bream caught in the past since January. Okay, and all of a sudden, this photo will go up and this video will go up, and then all of a sudden you'll start seeing black bream appear. And it frustrates me a little bit, because people don't want to go and put their own homework in. People would rather sit and just wait for others to go and do stuff, you know what I mean? But I've got to keep it quiet now, because if I want to come back up this weekend, because I know the fish are here, and I go and put pictures up and stuff like that, I'm killing it for myself, because I'll come down, walk all the way over to the headland, get all the way up to where the venue is, and then all of a sudden it's a long drive down and long way up to get where I am, and only to find people who are here. So at the same time, then I've got to sort of like think to myself, look, what do you do? And I know it's catch-22, because at the end of the day, the whole point of doing the sailing adventure stuff is to basically educate people and show entertainment at fishing at the same time. But at the same time, I've got to try and protect things to a certain extent, because I've got certain type of viewers what aren't interested in anything I'm doing and anything I'm saying today. They'll be looking for a simple fact where we are in the backgrounds. Okay, whether I'm raying, whether I'm smoothhound fishing, whether I'm soul fishing, they'll be looking up for certain things. Now, 9 times out of 10, if I'm on Chesil and Bristol Channel and that, it doesn't make no difference. But there is spots like in Cornwall and along different parts and stuff like that, which at the end of the day, you've got to speak to farmers. You've got to be on good terms with the farmers for them to allow you to park in fields. Because if you haven't got permission to park in fields and you're on private property, you're intentional breaking the law. And I've sort of like built up relationships with different people over the years. I mean, going back a few years now, I remember going down to South Devon with 6 bottles of whiskey in the car, and my missus with a nice short mini skirt on, just to try and make a few new friends. And to be honest, I got rid of 2 bottles of whiskey, and we made a few new friends. And it was 9 times out of 10, people don't want you on their land now. And I can understand it with obviously people with generally with like the stealing and theft and stuff like that going on, which happens in the world, which I think is disgusting. But there is genuine people out there like myself, and like what at the end of the day, all they want to do is just park somewhere to go fishing. And we've been stopped in places before which have allowed us, because they've had people come in and vandalise stuff and stuff like that, and rubbish and bits and pieces like that. And there's no need for it at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to spoil things for myself just to, obviously, the last thing people want to see is people like basically parked up into a field, and he suddenly gets one person there, the next minute there's 50 cars there, you know what I mean? And it's just a no-brainer. But anyone can do it. I mean, if you look at the marks and stuff, and you can see nearby houses and fields and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10 you can go and knock on the door. You've got a 50-50 chance of them saying yes and no. The coastline's a massive coastline around, and all the information of this sort of stuff is on the internet, guys. It'll tell you where the bream are being, they will tell you where the taupe are, where the bass are. It's all common knowledge these days with the internet and stuff. But that's all it takes. It takes a little bit of hard work, a little bit of groundwork, and knowing where you're going. And I would suggest to anybody who's looking at it is to go and take walks. That's a lot of how I sort of found venues in the past and stuff. Is by walking along coastlines and stuff and going, you know what, I quite fancy that. Looking on Navionics on Google Earth to find what the water looks like. Google Earth gives a good account because you can see clean ground to rough ground. But with the joy of Navionics now, it gives you the depth. And if you're looking at certain species like ray and that, don't normally need that good a depth. But if you're looking for big pollock, wrasse, not essentially, but like bigger wrasse, if you're looking for like black bream and stuff like that, you want a good depth of water. So it's at the end of the day, guys, that's what it's about. It's about taking a little bit away from the videos and stuff like that and using them to create your own knowledge and gain the information and stuff, what helps you on your fishing journey. Because everybody's fishing journey is going to be different, isn't it? Some people would prefer to go and do certain types of fishing than others, you know what I mean? For me, I like hard adrenaline fishing, and this is what it gives me. I mean, the ray fishing, when they're going screaming off, I like screaming reels, and this is what you get here. I haven't had one today, but 9 times out of 10, you'll get screamers. The fish will just hit it and run. But exactly the same as the ray, smooth hounds as well. I mean, it's highly addictive, where a lot of people prefer to fish for cod and stuff like that, don't they? I mean, each their own. Some people are fishing for the table, others are fishing for the sport of it. But yeah, it's a good, nice colour of water today. It's not clear. It's got a slight tint to it, and it's quite overcast as well, which I think's been good. And I've seen a lot of bait fish around, and I'm hoping that these bait fish are going to bring in some more bream, but it's not looking so at the moment. But as I said, I can't fish 2 rods with this type of fishing. I mean, 1 rod's enough. I mean, you get 2 rods going off at the same time, they can take their rods in the water, these fish, or they just like get smashed up. They're in that, if they go right deep into that kelp, it's lost, and I mean completely lost. So it's one of them at the end of the day, guys. You just got to try and do what you can do. But a lot of people, and I've seen them do it, float fishing. Okay, there is a tackle shop down in, I'm trying to think of the village now. Where's it to? I think it's the Padstow ones. Matey owns it, doesn't he? They do all like floats and stuff like that, where you can get down there. Float rods and stuff like that. But I know a lot of guys use continental rods, and they'll use float methods with continental rods because they can cast them. They're very light to hold, and they've got the backbone and power in there to handle and fish and stuff like that. Don't think there's nothing on it. I had a bite off it anyway, so. Pulled up through the rough. Speed up to try and keep it on. I've got the lead on there at the minute. Is he going to lose it? That is the question. I feel knackered. It's that week in the sun, I think, eating and drinking. Back on my diet, I think, again. Let's come back. Trace is wrapped round, so I think it's a case of baiting another one up and then get one head back out there, see if we can get another fish on. So what we got here? Wrapped up, completely wrapped up. I mean, if it's got like that out there, it's not got much chance of a fish going on. But that's the trouble you get. I've got no imp to send it out. What I find is that initial release, as it's clipped down, sometimes is all it needs. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna chuck that. I'll get another bit of bluey out, I think. Way up. I don't want that all going everywhere. Right. So, it's actually same again. I'm going to clip that down. Oh, yep. I'll have my rod. Have to wipe that off in a minute. That's there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay that down over the hook like so. Okay. Get my bait elastic. And then just bait elastic that on there like that. Right. Try and get that. It's lovely that. And then I can simply cut this away like so. Still blood and guts and all that there from that then. And then hopefully a bream can find that now. Lead's still on, which is a good thing. I'll send this one out. Right, let's try and get him out then. That one has gone out. There you go. So we're back in the water, baited up, and yeah, I've got, I don't know, a few more casts left in me, I think. Just want that big one now. Come on, that 4, come on. Normally, if there's a few of us, I just take one of these big bags and it's enough for all of us. Fortunately, I'm on my own today and I won't use all that. So it get fed to the fishes, I think. But you can't win them all, can't win them all. Right, let's get this off then. So time to cut it open. Fairly easy, just literally go down to the foam and you feel it and just cut along the edge of it. Comes out quite easy enough. For some reason, if it's all bluey, it doesn't stay together well. So that's the whole point of putting the squid, because you can like stuff the squid in. But I find that the tip of the bluey, it seems to attract the fish. So literally poking that like that in to the squid, like so. Right, that's it. Right, and then I just go down through and come out the bottom. So this one here, I'll go right down through there now. Not through the actual, you just want to go down through the squid and then try and get right out the bottom like that, just so you can pull the hook point down. Then there you go. So that's literally, that's the part set. And what I'll do then, like I said before, I'll put the eyes around the hook, and then if I can find it, nice, I'll get the squid around the top like that. Put not loads of bait elastic, but enough. You want that to be buoyant at the end of the day. Right, and then what I tend to do now is get a couple of the attractors and just, so you've got a little bit there, and you've got enough for them to go in on, really. Lovely, perfect. Right, I'm not going to do bluey on that one. I just want to keep it fresh squid. Look at all that black ink. Yum. Okay, now, so I've got a chance now to get a bit of distance because it's streamlined. Okay, so as long as it's streamlined, I've got every chance of trying to get a fish out, because well, it's not that it's necessarily right. Let me rephrase that. I've been doing very well in close, but I feel if I can get out to that deeper water, it might see a case of seeing 3 or 4 more fish out rather than the odd one. So yeah, let's see then. So we'll stand up here. That definitely made a difference. Don't know if you picked that up in cast, guys, but that definitely 100% made a difference. I'll probably put about 30 yards on with that cast, and I'm exactly where I want to be. Yep. Nice. Right, let's get this one laid up into the tripod then. In the water once more. I don't know if you picked that up on the, I don't know if you probably didn't, but I just wanted to put the rod down, lock it into a bit of a rock, because I can set the drag again and it can just take line, a slight lower line, and get right on it quickly. It's not loose, but it's enough to allow it to run if it needs to. And as I put the rod down, I looked up at the line, and the line went from there and dropped right over to the left. I thought, what's that? And as I started to lift up to tighten into it, I went to hit it. I seen a bird come through. So, yeah. Here we go. Waiting game once again. Well, folks, so pretty much the end of the session now. I mean, I've got, I don't know, maybe half an hour left, and then it's goodbye tide for me. But I've conquered what I wanted to do today. As I said, the main target was a black bream. Managed to get a PB, which I'm absolutely over the moon with. I mean, it don't happen very often anymore, but that's a part and parcel of fishing. As long as I've been fishing, and a lot of you would be exactly the same over the years. It's for people starting off and stuff, it can be quite hard, and it's still hard for the best of us. I mean, there's a lot of time and effort goes in, and a lot of money spent, and a lots of especially when you're doing this type of fishing, as I said before, a lot of dead trips and a lot of endless walks and that with little reward. But it does go to show sometimes you got to get out there, and you're not going to catch fish like that sitting at home. And to be fair, when I got out of bed this morning at 3:30, I just wanted to get back in bed, and I was that tempted just to switch it off. I had my bags packed and that, but it was well worth it. It was definitely well worth it. But yeah, I thoroughly hope you enjoyed the production. And yeah, as I said, guys, there's a lot of different areas around the UK to target black bream from the rocks, of the beaches, of the shorelines, wherever you want to target. I'm fishing off rocks today, but a lot of places will get bream, black bream throughout. A lot of like the Sussex beaches and that tend to get a lot of bream all the way down through like to Chesil, all the way down through down Cornwall and stuff, you know what I mean? They're around wherever. The main thing, what I'm a bit of advice I would give to anybody or wanting to target is to look for rough, deep water. Look for rough, deep, kelpy water, what gives way to clean grounds. And put a couple of sessions in. You never know. At the end of the day, if you're fishing the way I'm fishing for them, you can catch wrasse. I've had pollock, I've had bass. You know what I mean? You had a lot of different species. I've had in the winter monster pouting. And it can be rewarding at the end of the day, guys. But as I said, for those of you that wouldn't want to fish like this, we've obviously lost the tackle and stuff like that with your leads and that, you can float fish for them. Do you know what I mean? As long as you've got a good depth of water and you can like basically get your leads out there, your floats out there, just let them go around in with the tide. Tide is another key feature I've found over the years, that if you've got the tide running, you tend to get the fish running, and it's all I can say, guys. But as I said, I hope you've all enjoyed the production. If I do get another fish on this rod for the camera, I'll be sure to include it. But just before you go, don't forget, hit that subscribe button and stay up to date. We've done, some very, very good numbers in the past, I don't know, 6 weeks really. So since Christmas, I've been putting a lot of effort in, and I know they've been going down really well. You lot have been telling me that, and that's all I can do at the end of the day, guys. But live from the rocks, black breaming. Hope you all have a good weekend or a good week or whenever this goes on. Tight lines, and we'll catch you in another production.